What's up, y'all? Today I'm going to be using the best AI pair programming tools like Aider and Cursor. As of now, I don't think AI is good enough to give a high level objective and code it to perfection. I think AI pair programming tools that give the user overall decision power is the best balance between good design and getting things done. Today, we're going to run Aider using Groq super fast inference chips, and we're going to be quickly building a backend with FastAPI and SQLite. I'm going to start everything from the beginning so you can follow along. And with that, let's get to it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Groq Cloud, and the link will be in the description to get your API keys. If you don't have an account, sign up. It's free. We can create an API key for free as well. We do Aider demo. That sounds good. Submit. Go ahead and copy the code there. Don't worry. I will be revoking this when the video is published. And hit done. I'll pop over to the terminal. We're going to do make our directory. CD into it. If you don't have fly code, I highly recommend it. You can store a bunch of things that you've copied and quickly paste them. Once we've CD'd into our directory, we can do poetry in, which is going to create a virtual environment for us. Go ahead and click through some defaults. There is one that I do want to change. I want to change the Python version to 3.12 to the most latest. Go ahead and say no. And we're going to make sure that is what we want. Yes. All right. Clear it back up to the top. Control L. All right. So now what we can do is we need to add Unicorn, FastAPI. And so we can do that by doing poetry, add, and then give it the commands, let it run, install. After that's done, let's go ahead and bring it back up to the top. We are now going to want to invoke our shell. So we do poetry shell, starting the virtual environment. From here, now we want to export our Groq key. So we can do that here. So Groq key, right? And then you're going to take this out and you're going to put that key that we just used. So that should be item 1. Go ahead and hit it. Cool. Now what we can do is we can go to our Aider model, Groq / LL Llama 70B. Go ahead and hit it. There is not a Git repository in this folder yet. So do we want to create it? Yes. So we can track our changes. There we go. And if you did help, you can see a bunch of the commands here that you can run. What we're going to do, go ahead, Control L back at the top. And we're going to give it our first prompt. So the first thing that we want to do is we want it to create some models inside of the folder. Okay. So we can do here, let's see, can give it some tasks and details what to do. So create in db models.py, create the pydantic models for a base user, create user, just a regular user, inherent models where it makes sense. And then I can give a little bit more details if I want. Go ahead and let it run. There you go. Go ahead and let's look it over. Looks like it's inheriting the create user. Yep. And base user. All right. Sounds good. Go ahead and hit take it back up to the top. Next, what we want to do is we want to initialize the database. So we can do that by calling this create db / initialize db.py, create a function that will initialize the database user table. Go ahead and run it. Okay, next thing we want to do is initialize the SQLite database. We can run that by running create db / initialize db, create a function that will initialize the SQLite database and create the user table. I like to keep instructions really simple so the LLM can understand and short enough that they can execute. Okay, looks good to me. Sure. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to create the user repository. So this is going to be the layer between the API. This is essentially the business logic and the database. So we can do that by doing create db repo user repo.py. In this file, we'll be creating a class user repo that will have methods for creating, reading one, reading all users, and updating and deleting users. When returning the users, return them as a list of user objects. When creating and deleting, return the helpful dict message saying the user was created or deleted. Let's run it. All right, that was quick. We might have to fix this update user to take in a user ID, which will just be an integer, but we can fix that inside the IDE. Let's go ahead and accept the changes. All right. And we're going to clear it back up at the top. And one of the last things that we need to do is set up the FastAPI entry point. So we can run that by doing this command here, create a main.py file and create a basic FastAPI app, create a lifespan function that will initialize the database. The lifespan function will be wrapped in an async context manager and pass the lifespan function to the FastAPI app, and then create all the routes. So let's go ahead and run that prompt, see what we can get back. Right. It looks like it did not get the lifespan correctly. So what we can do is go ahead and accept those changes. That's fine. And we'll hit Control C. We'll get out of this. We slash exit. And we can do cursor. Okay. All right. Let's check out the main.py file. And let's check out the user repo. Let's start in the main.py file. So we will need to import the base user. And we need to import the context manager. So we're going to put that here at async context manager. We'll take care of this guy. And we'll yield that. We don't need the async IO. We're going to pass it the database. We need the lifespan, and we need to pass the app, of course. FastAPI. We need to pass the update user. We need to pass the actual user ID. User ID. And we don't need to set it that way. This is actually going to be a base user. And then we imported that. So all we need to do now is go to this function and update that. We're at this update user, and it could be user or base user to keep everything the same. We'll go up top and modify that. This is going to be an underscore instead of actually accessing the user's attribute. That almost looks good. If we go down to the bottom here, we can do if name equals main, import unicorn, and let's go ahead and run on 8123. All right. Now what we can do is run the FastAPI app, running on port 8123. Open it up. Slide it over here. So if we go to the docs, okay, we can see that we don't have anything in our database. Okay. We go to create. We can go ahead and hit try it out. This can be Zuck. And we can start filling things out. Zuck at meta.com. Don't need a password. I guess we comma. All right, execute. Boom, looks like it was created. Okay. And if we go back, we can get the list of users coming back as a Pydantic model. We take that ID and we want to update it. So let's see here. ID 1. we'll take Elon, and then we're going to do, we'll keep this as Zuck, just so you can see, at meta.com, and then this is going to, okay, execute. Let's see what our error is. And 2 were given. 3 were given. Gotcha. Go back. If we look here, we have update user, right? Update user, which is just taking, it's just asking me for, we forgot to, user ID int. That should be good there. If we run it again, go back to here, refresh the page. Hopefully that reloaded. Elon, Groq, execute. I got to start the server over again. Updated successfully. So if we go back, it should say Elon string Groq. And there you go. That's the ID. All right. And if we wanted to delete it, we just pass it, and we should get back our helpful message saying that we deleted it. Go all the way back at the top and hit execute again. We'll see that we don't have any items in our database. One thing that I really like about Aider is that it's for quick iteration, and Cursor helps you really fine tune with a scalpel on what you're trying to do. Thinks quickly ahead. Cursor ++ is like Copilot, but on steroids. Really neat. Obviously, the model that you put behind these LLMs, these tools, they will do much, much better in predicting and coming out with better code. Hope that's helpful, guys. If you have any questions on this one, or you want to see something in the future, let me know. Drop a like, comment down below. I will catch you in the next one. Peace.